What's up, Dr. Ed?
How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect, buddy. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for the call today. This is gonna be fun.
Good, man. Good. I like that beanie, man.
Obviously we're not
You're looking good, brother.
I was gonna say obviously we're not doing video today.
Okay.
So whereabouts are you right now?
I'm in Miami Beach.
Okay. Okay. Because I have a view of your production studio, I think. Everyone else milling around in there, not you.
Okay.
So how much time do I have you for, Grant?
How much time you want?
30 minutes max.
Okay, good. Let's roll.
Okay. So do you want me to I'm gonna assume that I sound great.
You sound awesome, dude.
Okay, you sound great. I sent over an interview flow, short, sweet, 15, 20 minutes probably. We just bang it out like pure value.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So if
Now,
you're
hey,
ready to
let me
get
let me ask
started,
you
I mean, we
something.
can do this.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Sure.
Do you think that the beginning stuff, the humble beginnings and where I came from, you think all that stuff's important?
I guess, what I'm trying to do is really resonate with people who are, the people who are struggling, trying to figure out whether this is something that's actually going to work for them. Like, and I'm talking about online business and being the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for myself, like I was clueless when I started this stuff. So, I think that's I want to connect with those people and let them know, look, hey, we all start somewhere.
Yeah. I just wonder if we start with the good stuff and then go back and just flip it.
Sure. Yeah, we could do that. So how about this? So we start with tell us, we talk about where you are now.
Yeah, it's your call.
Right.
Either way you want to go. I always wonder about that, though. I know everybody likes to start with to connect with the hearts of the people.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's a conversation.
Yeah,
People
beautiful.
are going to listen either way.
Yeah, I
So,
got it.
yeah, I mean, why don't we do this? But I like to have you start talk, I call it ease into the conversation, but have you talk about yourself to begin with. Tell it, yeah.
Beautiful.
And I mean, and then we can take a step back or circle back and hit on where your beginnings.
Okay, awesome, man.
Cool. We'll just see where it goes. It'll be great.
Whenever you're
How
ready.
do I get to your studio and get interviewed, Grant?
Dude, you just come on down to Miami, brother. Come on down to Miami, man.
I love your studio. Maybe when I have a jet. Okay, so I'll do a quick countdown, and then we're just going to jump right into it. I'll do your introduction, post production.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just, like I said, we'll hammer this out.
Beautiful.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. All right, LLP listeners, I have a tremendous guest today, and that is actually Grant Cardone, the Grant Cardone, the megapreneur, but also the best-selling author. Grant, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great today, Dr. Ed. What's up?
You know what? I'm excited. I was really incredibly excited when I heard that you were going to be the #1 person to kick off this new podcast that really I'm putting out there to support entrepreneur, the aspiring budding entrepreneur that's out there trying to figure out whether this is going to work. And you and I in the pre-chat, we had this little conversation about where you are specifically. It's not important where I am right now, but where you are specifically. But could you share with our listeners to begin with, about yourself, about the best-selling author, about where you are in your business, and maybe even a little bit about Cardone University?
Well, let me, I have a really prosperous business today. It's privately held. We have 5 companies. It's all started from scratch. I was not given anything, no loans. My dad died when I was 10. I was not connected in the community. I didn't have any experience, but I did have a really strong dissatisfaction with where I was. I mean, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I watched my mom. I grew up lower middle class, and I watched my mom. I mean, we weren't poor, right? But we were scared all the time. And I mean, to me, that's the same thing. Like if you're worried about money every second of the day, you are poor. And I know from personal experience, I've had nothing but debt on my balance sheet and no assets. I've been broken financially, spiritually, mentally, physically. At 25 years old, I had less money than when I was 8 years old. I mean, how does that even happen, man? Okay. So I remember watching my mom scared every time we went to the grocery store. And just when I was 16 years old, I'm like, I'm not going to grow up and be like this. And I was actually so miserable with my life that between the ages of 16, literally 16 to 20, I didn't even think I'd make it to 20 years old. When I was 20, I didn't think I'd be 21. When I was 21, I said, for sure, I will not live beyond 25. I lost my dad when I was 10. I lost an older brother when I was 20. So I was like, I had a bit experience with like life does not last very long. And it seemed to be a big struggle. And I didn't want that. So today, fast forward, I'm 58 years old now. I shouldn't say that probably because it dates the podcast. I'll look at this when I'm 70 and say, yeah, I remember doing that with Dr. Hard. But, today I got, my companies will probably do $100 million this year. I have a real estate portfolio worth over $400 million. And for a guy that's never gone public, I've never raised money. I'm not doing the Silicon Valley thing. Dude, it's all grunt and drive and push and discipline and save and invest. And it's what anybody can do, though. That's the good news.
Grant, when you were coming up, and you were putting all of this together, building and diversifying your business and getting profitable, what was the major challenge you had to overcome? Was it money? Was it mindset? Was it your family relationships? Was it your health? Because I honestly, in my, time travel experience of becoming successful in the last 12 months in online business, I've encountered all of those challenges. But what was it specifically for you? And then, let's flip that too, is like, what was the lesson from it?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge the entire time has been, my mental condition. And even when I was doing well, I'll tell you, it was more of a struggle actually when I had money than when I didn't have money. When I was 34, 35 years old and I had $1 million and I had a business that was working, I was starting a second company, it was actually more difficult. When I realized, oh man, I'm worth $5 million now. This is probably, I'm late 30s probably. And I had a house in La Jolla and living on the ocean. Dude, I got based on everybody else, I got it made. I mean, I've come a tremendous way. It was actually more difficult. My mindset at all these levels, whether I was broke or 16 years old and I'm watching this whole middle class thing not work out for my mom and I'm angry. It was a mental thing, man. It wasn't a skill thing yet. It was like, what can I do? And I had all these people tell me, you're just 16. It's garbage, man. Alexander the Great had conquered half the planet at the age of 16. So then when I'm 35 years old and I got $3 or $4 million, I'm like, dude, how do I find the freaking jack to get to the next level? Do I even want to go to the next level, or do I just want to play golf every day? These are things that only the individual. Your wife can't make that decision with you. The kids can't help you. Your mom can't help you. Dude, it's about the individual, because only the individual I knew at 16, 35, 45, and 55, what is it I want to do? Because money does not solve that problem. Money does not solve the problem. What does the individual want to do? Now, it just so happens I'm extremely financially driven. I think that money, finances are literally a spiritual obligation for me to collect the finances and reserves necessary for me to provide myself, my family, my friends, the people I love and care for with choices. Like, hey, I want to fly private. I don't want to crawl on a plane on Delta. I did 3 million miles on Delta. I don't want to do that. I hate that. I hate operating on somebody else's schedule. I want freedom. That's really what I want. This whole time, what I wanted was freedom. But as a 16-year-old, 25 years old, 35 years old, I was just, I was immature. You don't know what you want until you know. And like now, maybe I'll want something else 5 years from now. Right now, I want something big. I want freedom and legacy. I want to leave a legacy. 50 years from now, people can read my books, listen to my programs, watch video online. I think the internet will still exist in some form.
Grant, what's worse in business, or maybe specifically to your business? Is it coasting, or is it quitting? What's worse?
Yeah, dude, coasting is quitting. If you call it anything else. Okay, coasting is a form of quitting because all coasting ends up in the same place. You know, try coasting. Let the car just be on cruise control. Sooner or later, you got to pull in and get some fuel. You got to have another destination. Otherwise, it just becomes this long, boring trip, right? I don't want my life to be like that. And I think most people actually spend their life coasting along. The middle class is built on it's basically a mass coast. We're all right. Everything's going to be fine. We're doing better than most people. When I'm going down the road and I see cars passing me, I was in an Uber car the other day, and I'm like, dude, everybody's passing us, bro. I'm in the back seat, man. I'm like, bro, why is everybody passing us? Sir, we're going to be there in plenty of time. That's not the point, dude. Everybody's passing us. So what is your problem, dude? Did you get a ticket recently? Yeah, I got one 3 weeks ago. Well, that was 3 weeks ago, bro. Get me ahead of all these average people that they have someplace to go. So I think the coasting is a form of quitting. I know that when I have coasted in my life on my finances, my business, my growth, my sales, my revenue, my personal growth, I'm not reading maybe. When I coast, I start dying. It is a form of quitting.
Did you know that, did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, that you wanted to be the boss? Do you think that everyone is, or do you think everyone is built or?
Dude, I think everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody.
Really?
Well, look at kids. Look at any kid. I don't care. I got two kids. I got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. They're completely different people. Both of them want to be the boss. Okay, who doesn't want to be the boss, man? Because what is the boss anyway? The boss is about choices. You know, when I was 6 years old and my mom and dad would take me to this store, I'm like, dude, I'm watching these giants, right? They got the power, man. The big people had the power. I remember being 3 years old in one of those cribs, whatever they call those little things. I'm a twin, me and my identical twin brother. At the age of about 3 or 4, when you got a twin, dude, you got a guy with you every day. You're looking at this other being every day, right? Well, power would change, right? I would have it sometimes and he would have it. I remember 3 or 4 years old. I had the power for like 3 or 4 or 5 months. I was in charge, dude. I owned the, what's it called? What's the cradle? The crib. I owned the crib, dude. The crib was my crib. Okay. And then one day he got it. And man, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm young, man, because he became the boss for a while. And I remember something happened and I didn't have the power anymore. And then I'd watch my mom and my dad go to the store, and I'd watch my older brother, who was, I guess he was 5 at the time. He had more power than I had, or he was 9 or 10 years old at the time. My sisters were 15 and 20. They had the power. So it was like the whole time, people want to grow up. Why? Why do you want to grow up so bad? Because you want the choices, man. You want the power. You want to be the boss. So me and Gary V, I had Gary V here, Gary Vaynerchuk recently, and he's like, look, not all people are meant to do this. I said, I think you're wrong, dude. I think everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants money. Everybody. People quit on it, though.
Is it the money or is it the lifestyle that they want? I see that a lot where people want the first class lifestyle, but they're investing in themselves on an economy level.
Totally agree with that, dude. Look, everybody wants money. They just been told not to talk about it. Okay, people just lie. People lie. You don't even need to worry about the people that lie to you. You need to worry about lying to yourself. If you don't want money, okay, pick which one you want to be, a liar or stupid. There's your two choices. You live on an economic planet. Unfortunately, I have an accounting degree, so I got a lot of economic training in college that was basically useless. But 17 years, man, they never said, dude, there's no raw sessions. Don't be broke. You know how big the colleges would be if the college was get rich you? You know, but a lot of people wouldn't even go because they've quit on it so long ago. I don't want that. I don't need all that. I just want to be happy. You will not be happy without money because you live on a planet that is economic in nature. Okay? Every day Every day, every person in this office, there's probably 50 employees here. All 50 people will confront money at some point today. Do I go to Starbucks or not? Do I get gas today or not? Okay. I walk outside and find out, oh man, my rim's busted. I got to fix the rim on my truck. Oh, that costs money. Everything costs money. Katie's in here. She's got a couple kids. They eat all day long. They're little junkies. They want food all day long. They got habits. It costs money, man. So even if you're not into the money game, you know, what I would tell people is, look, you quit on it. You got into this coasting mode. Somebody got inside your head. Somebody said money doesn't matter. Somebody said money won't make you happy. Somebody said money doesn't grow on trees. Somebody told you everybody can't be rich. It's bullshit, man. Everybody can be rich and everybody should be rich. I think actually, Ed, that money, not having money is an indication of a person's some spiritual gap that the individual's having. I think it's my spiritual obligation. Now, I know what the Bible says. The Bible says a rich man has the same chances of going to heaven as a camel has going through the eye of a needle. Dude, I don't believe that. I think that's garbage. Okay? It's crazy. I'm going to heaven, dude. I know for sure. And if I'm coming back, if the heaven thing, I'm making two big bets. I'm making the heaven bet and the reincarnation bet. Okay? So at the end of the deal, I'm set up for both of them.
I'll interview you again when you come back, Grant.
Yeah. We'll do the spiritual. We should do a whole spiritual conversation because I think a lot of people are confused about the material world and the spiritual world. You know, I am probably more spiritually inclined in my life. My whole life has been more of a spiritual journey than it has a material journey. You know, I want to have this. I want to have a spiritual. I am a spiritual being. I'm not a physical. I'm not a body. My name's probably not really even Grant Cardone. So somebody just gave that to me, right? With a bunch of other information. They were just trying to pay their bills, man. My mom's just trying to get by every month.
Let's loop it back to the laptop lifestyle. Like I see, especially with, entrepreneurs who have a brick and mortar. Do you see that online business, is that the big gap that people are missing in terms of diversifying their income and getting really profitable right now?
I think the big gap is back to this mental thing. Because you can go online if you don't have this right. I got a guy in here right now. He's shooting video on this thing, and he's like, this guy's gonna make, I don't know, $300,000. How much? What are you gonna make this year? Probably about $300,000, dude. Guy didn't, before he got here, he didn't make $300,000 in 10 years. So it's mental. He's around a guy that's saying, look, you got to get your financial house in order, man. How are you going to do that? You do it in the environment you're in. Okay. If you're in the inner city of Baltimore, man, you either got to leave the inner city. Maybe you're in Afghanistan or Pakistan, or you're in Iran. Dude, you either got to leave or you got to figure out how to sell rugs in the local bazaar. So what do you have to do to get your financial house in order? So is online a possibility? Online makes it a possibility for everyone now. I don't know where I'm at. You when we started this today, Grant, where are you today? Dude, you don't know. I told you I'm in Miami. I could be in St. Bart's. All I need is the lights. I need the camera. I need a microphone. I need internet. And I can be anywhere. So this is an unbelievable time right now that people could actually pick up second and third incomes while they got their kids at home. But again, if people working from home, look, working from home is very, very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous, okay? Because it requires tremendous amounts of discipline. Way more discipline than coming to an office. It's much easier to work at my office than it would be for Katie to work from her home. Because we got expectations here, dude. Show up or you don't have a job. Show up early or you don't have a job, okay? Be here. Show up. Have a good attitude. So we're literally like, there is value in coming into a culture where there's energy, right? And a mindset and a team and mission. As opposed to a guy, solopreneurs will never make it. Let me just say that, okay? And I know you're a proponent for that, but the solopreneur will cease to exist because we got a connection. Okay, the solo, and the reason I say that, man, is do you know of anybody that's like, I think Apple started in their garage. Bill Gates started in their garage, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know them because they stayed in the garage. Facebook started in his dorm room. You don't know Mark Z because he stayed in his dorm room. You know him because he went to Silicon Valley, right? So people have to think today, hey, I got to get my mental right, man. I wrote the book called The 10X Rule. The 10X Rule is about monster expansion, not just mental, though. It's like I got to back that up now with 10X actions. But the first thing I got to expand is my think.
You know, that's interesting too, because I read that book a year ago and I interviewed you for the Chiropractic Philanthropist podcast, which was my first podcast, March of 2015. So like basically a year ago. And that book was a transformation for me and just skyrocketed my online business, but just business in general. And I got a ton of feedback from listeners from that podcast.
Yeah.
You know, Grant, I got to ask you though, you know, if you could say there was one critical misunderstanding of online business that leads to failure, what would you say that is?
That you do too little. Like John Taffer, Bar Rescue, John Taffer. I met with him this weekend in Vegas, and these are yours, by the way. And he's like, man, dude, you're a selling machine, bro. I said, yeah. I got good products, John. My people need my products, okay? The people that win with my products are not the people that just go to a seminar for 1 hour or watch a Periscope stream. The people that are winning with my products are people that are buying my books, buying my audio programs on my university. I mean, the people that do the best with me are the people that are watching 6 and 7 and 8 segments from their phones, their tablets, and their computers every day. Not what I want to tell them. Like this, people have to listen to whatever I'm telling them right now, if they're listening. But in this university, this online virtual platform we created, you get to go pick what you need in that moment. This is truly on demand. What you need when you need. Let's say a dentist is selling an $80,000 implant job. By the way, the online business will be brick and mortar if it gets big enough. Okay, look at Apple. Apple left online. They were selling everything online. Now they're using Verizon, AT&T, and they even have their own little Apple shops. So if you're going to scale out and get big, sooner or later you got to become real to people, right? So I was talking to this dentist. They don't know how to sell an $80,000 dental implant. It's painful, it's expensive, I can't get the money. So that guy can drop in and say, how do I handle a price objection? How do I handle a stall? I need to think about it. The guy's been thinking about it 30 years about it. He's had bad teeth his whole life. Okay? But he tells the dentist, I need to think about it. That's not even true. He doesn't need to think about it, okay? So if the dentist was actually trained and educated how to handle that now, he would help the dentist, he would help the client sooner. He would help his business sooner. He'd have more confidence, have more customers, and have a more successful practice. So he can literally do that from a computer. Go in. It's a 13-second video. Hey, the buyer just said, I need to think about it. You click on I need to think about it. I pop up in video and say, this is what I would do. If you don't like this one, go to the next video. So
I got to tell you, I mean, I love what you're saying here, Grant, about especially with your university and with the online training. I mean, honestly, that's how I did it, Grant, is like, I just, purchased courses. I learned from people like you, and I didn't watch them once. I watched it once through, then I went back, made notes. I probably watched every video tutorial like that I've ever purchased, probably 5-6 times, put it in my car, listened to it. I actually learn and not just, just basically go through the surface of the information, actually use it as a real university. And that's part of the value of what you're providing with Cardone University.
See, people are studying. This is a good point. People are studying today because of online, because of the number of people that can literally be experts, because of streams, and posts. They're scanning content, like entrepreneur.com. I'm like, dude, what are you doing for reading? Oh, I read entrepreneur.com. You're not reading, bro. You're scanning. Number one, you're scanning. You're scanning for points. Number two, you're getting so many different ideas. Okay, if you go to CNBC today and just do this as a test, put in oil or gold. Okay, oil and gold. I guarantee you what's going to pop up at CNBC is going to be why to buy it, and right underneath it, why it's the wrong time to buy it. So the individual ends up leaving confused. You see, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge today is actually a garbage dump. Certainty is power. And certainty only comes through repetition. So I need to know, hey, that guy's not my friend. That guy says he's my friend, but he's not my friend. This guy over here is my friend. You said that he said, and I don't believe it because I know that guy. That's certainty, dude. That's power, man. When I'm certain, right? This is going to be a good investment. I buy real estate. I've been buying apartment buildings for 25 years. I own 4,500 apartments or something, some ridiculous number. Now, what am I doing being a guy that started with is a sales guy selling clothes and owned $400 million worth of real estate? Okay, how do you do that? Because I was certain, man. I knew apartment buildings. I knew it was a good deal. I know people will continue to rent. So again, repetition, what you do, listening to something a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. Don't go get another guy. Many people listen to this right now. You either have no mentors, no gurus, or you have too many. And too many is probably more dangerous than none. So I have a rule. I never take advice from a quitter. Ever. You quit, I won't listen to you, okay? Like the alcoholic. Don't listen to the guy that quit the AA meetings. If they quit the church, don't listen to that guy. That guy is a quitter. He's going to color this thing the way he sees it because he left it. He has to justify it. Don't get marriage advice from somebody that got a divorce. You need a prenup, man. Dude, you're a quitter, bro. You're just a quitter. I'm not saying the advice isn't good. I'm saying I ain't taking it. Okay? My mom, I love my mom's not alive anymore, but she was like my best friend. I would never take business advice from my mom. Great mother. Okay? I'd take advice for her on how to cook some gumbo, but you ain't. My mama told me not to start every business I started. I actually would take her advice and flip it. If she told me not to, I'm like, shit, I'm going to make some money in this deal.
So Grant, as we kind of start to wrap things up here too, because I know you got tons of things lined up today, I'm sure. And I just want to ask this question about, who makes it rain? I always like I asked this of Dan Sullivan of Strategic Coach the other day, and I'm just really interested to see what, different successful megapreneurs like yourself, what their thoughts are on this. So you're in a room, Grant, full of successful, ultra successful entrepreneurs. One guy or one person, they have the most leads. The other person can make the most sales. Like they just everyone, right? And the other person, they have the best systems, the best automation. They know all the back end of everything. Which person in the room is the one who can make it rain money?
Dude, the guy that can make it rain is the guy that is making it rain, Like, who's making it rain? I was on a call the other day. I'm like, first call, my VP had been on the call. Sherry had been on the call. I did a third call, and I'm like, how much money did you make last year? 1 million. We made 1 million. I'm like, I'm looking at my two guys. I'm like, how's this lady going to help us? She made $1 million last year. Okay. I want to make $1 million a month. I'd like to make $1 million a week. Okay. Who's going to help me make $1 million a week is somebody that's already making $1 million a week. Now, so I need people around me that got this mental thing figured out, okay? Doesn't mean he's got it figured out in every space, okay? Like I'm talking to Frank Kern right now. Me and Frank, Frank's going to come into my offices and do something with me. See, Frank can help me do some stuff online that I don't understand it. He looked inside my Infusionsoft. He's like, "Oh my God, bro, it's going to pour on you. Get an umbrella." Okay, because I'm only using like this much of my database. I don't know what I'm doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, folks, okay, the thing to do is, number one, get your mental fixed. The easy way to get your mental fixed is whatever you think you want, Assume that what you think you want has been influenced by others that quit on what they wanted. This is a very, very important thing. Okay? People are inheriting their goals. I want to be a millionaire. Really, dude? That's a lazy number. Okay? Why do you want to be a millionaire? Somebody told you a millionaire is a good thing or something. So whatever you think your goals are, I want you to 10x them. If you think it's $1 million, assume that you inherited the idea from someone else and just 10x it. Multiply times 10. And then the second thing is you have to take the amount of action. Just assume if you think you can live on 60 grand a year, decide the number needs to be 600. Assume there's something wrong with your mental and wherever the data came from, right? And the second thing is then you need to get around people, man, that think like 600 grand a year. And then you have a shot. I'm not even saying you're going to make it now. Spend every penny. Go into debt. Do whatever you need to do to get to that 600. Because if you spend 540 with taxes, expenses, you still got 60. But you can help a lot of people. You actually have a shot at making it. If your number's 600, make it 6 million. If your number's 6 million, make it 60 million. If your number's 60 million, make it 600 million. Dude, maybe just skip all that and just say, I'm going for $1 billion. Because with $1 billion, you got a chance of being a company that can make a difference on planet Earth. That's why I'm telling you, this money thing's a spiritual thing. Bill Gates and his wife, Melinda, they're going to make a difference on this planet. Their money will make a difference. They got huge, giant goals to feed people, solve freaking water problems, education problems. They're big, big goals. Way bigger than what politicians can do. So I think you just got to assume that the way you were brought up has a negative influence on you. Your friends, your family. See, friends and family, for me, it's black or white. Just because you're friends and family don't mean you're on my side. My side is a different deal today than when I was a baby. You know? And just because somebody loves me don't mean they're on my side, man. It's black or white, baby. It's black or white. I'm ruthless, okay? I'm ruthless when it comes to my baby, my first baby. I'm married I got 2 kids, my wife. I told my wife, I said, baby, here's the deal, okay? My goals, I will never give up my goals. I'll fight for you. I'll go down in a gun battle for you. I'll stand in front of a car for you, but I'm not giving up my dreams. So you got to be on board with me with my dreams. My 2 kids, they're either going to support my dreams or as soon as they're old enough, I'll kick them out the house. Brothers, sisters, friends. Dude, you're either with me or you're not. Okay? You know what that means? That means my friends would buy my books. That means my friends would be on Cardone University. I got a buddy in Los Angeles. He's not on my program. He's a casual friend, not a real friend. He's a guy I can play some blackjack with, have a drink with, but he's not the guy that'll freaking stand behind me. You guys in network marketing online, your friends, your family's not buying your products. Why aren't they? Is it because you're not asking? Oh, don't mix friends and family and business. Why not, man? If you can't get your friends and your family to do business with you, I'd say you're confused. Ed, you're the man, dude. This is a great value you're providing for people, by the way.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Grant. I mean, look, I was clueless when I started this entrepreneurship, and I figured this stuff out of survival and necessity. I just figured, you know what, I need to figure, like, I lost everything. I needed to decide, okay, look, how am I going to make money again? How am I going to earn? So I feel like I launched a whole new business just in the last 12 months. But again, you were like one of the people who really inspired me to keep pushing and actually know that I could actually make this happen. I love the value that you're dropping here today. I like how you say it's dangerous working at home. I feel it. I feel it. It's easy to slide. So I'm going to actually drop some information and resources here for the listeners as well. So LLP listeners, you can actually head over to the laptoplifestylepodcast.com. You can actually get the resources and you can actually link. So clickable links to access Grant's information, his website, Cardone University. And so you can level up in your game and actually make sure that you're successful and ultra successful as an entrepreneur as well. Before I kind of wrap things up here again, Grant, I just want to ask you one final question, and that's kind of touching on something you said today. Grant, do you ever feel like you've made it? Do you ever feel like you got it? Oh, yeah, you got it in lock?
No doubt I've made it. I mean, This is unbelievable what I've created in my life. Okay. But I'm not satisfied with it. Every night, I literally, maybe not every night, 4 or 5 times a week, I tell my wife, when are we going to really make it? Now it's really make it. When are we going to really make it? I was with Steve Harvey last week. Okay. Now Steve's got a $25 million deal for the game show. He's got a $20 million deal for his daytime talk show. He's got a radio show. Okay. I'm like, Steve, when am I going to make it, dude? He's like, I ask myself that every day. When am I going to finally make it? He's got a big deal coming out on with Mark Burnett. That's going to probably make him another 20. You know, now it's not about the money with Steve, okay? He's got the money, but like people underestimate, man. When you get that kind of money and that kind of success, you're underestimating 2 things. Number one, how fast it can all go because the other things you need, team support, I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff that you don't even think about. To number 2, how many people you can help. And by the way, whether you're making 60 grand a year or 60 million a year, dude, there's a little thing called cash flow. Okay? And cash flow is the holy grail of finances. I know people make 60 million a year and they're broke, dude. They're better off making nothing. Okay, I know guys that couldn't pay their taxes. You and I both know people. You've seen the papers where some guy was making 20 million a movie. Nick Cage, he owes the federal government more money than he has. Okay, so like this whole money thing, it's a game. For me, it's a spiritual game. It's like a Monopoly board. It's like, how do I spiritually manage the material universe? So as far as making it, I mean, back to making it is like, look, I'm thinking about my potential. My potential, I call potential. My potential, okay? My potential is really this spiritual, this North Star kind of guiding me. So that for me is what's making it. Like making it is not about how much money I have or the car I drive or the business or the best-selling book or the speaking gig or a TV show. It's going to be about this other thing that's like, hey, but I know there's some other thing up here that I can do. You know, this sensation I get in my stomach, this gnawing. Hey, man, you can do more, help out more, do another podcast. Doesn't matter if you're getting paid for it or not. Do it. You might meet somebody. You might help one person. You know, so that's that potential that doesn't have any financial value. I can't look at it, but it's an asset for me, right? Because it keeps me going. It keeps me pushing. It keeps me alive. It keeps me young.
Yeah. Yeah. And you didn't have to do this podcast today, but I love the fact that, you're constantly giving back to the aspiring entrepreneur and the budding entrepreneur. And those are the listeners that we're speaking to today. And Grant, I want to thank you so much for bringing the value and keeping it hardcore today on the Laptop Lifestyle Podcast.
Dude, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me. All right.